story of Michael Kronaizl. He's a young man from Scotland, South Dakota, born into a family that was surrounded by sports, and he was an athlete and a competitor. But at the age of 16, he got into a fight for his life. Kevin E. Martin has his story.
In many ways, sports are like a family, forming bonds and creating unity among individuals. For generations, the Kronaizl family has developed a unity through their love of sports. As the youngest, Michael Kronaizl continues their tradition well, developing a strong passion for many different sports, but none more than baseball.
Everything came pretty easily to him, but baseball was always his favorite. He grew up watching my husband play. I mean, my husband played for 26 years. That's all we ever did.
I remember watching my brother grow up, and he was just awesome on the baseball field. During his region tournament, he started out 9 for 10. He's the leadoff hitter. The first batter of the region tournament, he hits a home run.
As Michael grows, so does his love for sports. After watching his father and older brother compete, Michael enters his teenage years as a natural athlete and becomes a standout at his high school.
Anything to do with baseball, football, basketball, he was doing it. Golf.
By his junior year, Michael continues to excel and catches the attention of college scouts. But as summer approaches, something strange begins to happen to Michael.
He said he was playing basketball out here with a friend, and he started to notice a double vision. And then when he was golfing, it was worse. I mean, I can't believe he even competed. And he missed going to state that year by 1 stroke. But I mean, he had double vision all the time.
First, we thought it was just junk in his eye, and we put drops in there, of course, and that didn't work. Took him to Yankton eye doctor, and they did a CAT scan. That didn't work. We went to Sioux Falls to a specialist and did an MRI. That's what found it.
What they find is a tumor located on Michael's brainstem. Doctors perform additional tests to see if it is malignant. The family anxiously waits for the results to come in. And when they finally do, the news is devastating.
Well, I was in a meeting in Midco at the time, and Michael was in Aberdeen at Boys State. The doctor called me and he said, you may want to get him down here right away. So I drove from Midco to Aberdeen thinking, what do I tell him when I see him?
On June 10th, 2008, he is officially diagnosed with a rare malignant brain tumor that cannot be removed surgically.
The MRI of the brain showed this large midbrain tumor and turned out to be a germinoma. Germinoma is a germ cell tumor. Germ cells are very undifferentiated cells, and they're highly malignant.
That's probably the worst news ever. There I go. You can't imagine.
The one thing you never want to hear is that your son or daughter has cancer. It just kind of takes you down immediately.
For Michael's older brother, Craig, whom Michael has looked up to all through childhood, the news is especially difficult.
He couldn't even say anything to him. I didn't know what to say. I mean, it's your younger brother that you've always looked out for your whole life, and there's nothing you can do.
Less than 1 month after his diagnosis, Michael begins to receive treatment for his cancer. Instead of spending time on the field, Michael now spends it in hospital rooms. The process is grueling, and it takes a huge toll on him, mentally and physically.
It was a real rough haul. We went for 6 weeks, 5 times a week, and Dennis and I would take turns driving him. And I think one of the hardest things was when Michael started to lose his hair.
Every day he would start vomiting, either before or afterwards. And a lot of it was from the radiation, a lot of it was stress.
Seeing him not be able to do what he could always do when the cancer hit him, it hurt me too, because I knew how bad it actually hurt him.
The baseball field is right over here, and we could just step out on the patio, and he's never missed a ball game since he's been born, you know. He'd go to Dennis, then when he was eligible, he played all his, but then he wasn't able to do any of that.
As the summer months progress, Michael faces the uncertainty of not knowing what challenge the next day holds. After he completes his radiation and chemotherapy treatments, it's time for another full-body MRI. Finally, in early September, the family gets the results.
There's no better feeling than I said before. It's great. I don't know how else to say it, but you hear people having cancer, but you really don't ever expect to have it yourself. I mean, it's kind of just unreal. It never really felt like it was actually happening.
You just don't believe that it could actually happen to you and your family, and then when it's finally over with, it's like a huge weight has been lifted off your shoulders.
With his body cancer-free, Michael immediately focuses on a return to the field. Despite his obvious physical setbacks, Michael refuses to let anything stop him from playing. He goes on to compete for his senior season.
I kind of jumped the gun. I went into it probably sooner than I should have. My body wasn't ready to go, but mentally I was.
Soon it's summer again, almost a year since Michael's diagnosis. And this year's different. Michael is finally realizing his dream of playing Legion baseball. And who better to share it with than his older brother?
One of the happiest things in my life is to finally be able to play in the same baseball field as my brother.
It's just wonderful to see him out there after missing that year, you know, and not knowing if he'd ever play again, you know.
3 years after his recovery, Michael's passion for sports is still burning strong. In 2011, Michael was recognized for his heroics and awarded the Mark Melhalf Courageous Comeback Award at the South Dakota State Amateur Baseball Tournament.
I never even really realized there was an award like that, but got the call, and it was an honor to accept that award.
As he is recognized for his strength and courage, Michael's outlook on life and sports are forever changed.
You can't take anything for granted, and you can't be scared to do anything now because you never know what's going to happen. So that's what I kind of live my life in a different perspective now.
Well, Kevin, how is Michael doing now? How is he physically?
Well, actually, this past September marked the 3-year anniversary of him being cancer-free, but he's still experiencing a little bit of double vision, and to fix that, he's going through some chiropractic care, and the physicians that he's working with currently have actually had a lot of success stories. So Michael and his family are very optimistic that this might be the answer. All right, his body's getting stronger. Where is he in life right now? Well, no surprise, he's still playing sports, playing a lot of Legion baseball, and he's currently a sophomore at the University of South Dakota studying pre-physical therapy. All right, thanks, Kevin. A great story.